While washing my girlfriend's panties, I found a yellowish mark on them. When I looked closely, I realized it was a cigarette burn. But I had quit smoking more than a year ago because she hated the smell, and she definitely didn't smoke either. Could someone explain to me what was going on? So I left the pink panties in the bathroom and couldn't stop thinking about it. The more I thought about it, the stranger it seemed. At that moment, my girlfriend sent me a message. Honey, it looks like I'll have to stay late at work again tonight. You should just go to sleep. I had gotten Lin Ruyan the job through a friend, working as an HR assistant at a private company. The salary wasn't very high, but it was a relaxed job. Then I remembered that last month she had bought a new lipstick and said it was a gift from a friend. But now that I thought about it, it was a very expensive brand, and her friend had just lost her job. She couldn't possibly afford something like that. Besides, lately she had been staying late at work all the time, coming home almost at 10. At first I didn't think much of it. I thought she was genuinely busy, but now that I reconsidered it, something was definitely wrong. Looking at the photo of us on my wallpaper, I felt more and more like a clown. Holding back my anger, I replied, "What time do you finish, honey? I'll come pick you up." "Oh, no need, honey. You know how busy we are at the end of the year." "I don't know what time I'll finish," she replied quickly and impatiently. I couldn't wait any longer. I changed clothes and left. I got in the car and drove straight to her company. On the way there, I remembered a college classmate named Anshin, who owned a detective agency specialized in infidelity cases. We hadn't spoken in a long time, but at our last reunion he had given me his card and told me to call if I ever needed anything. I hesitated about calling him, but in the end I did. His voice sounded alert. "At this hour? What's wrong?" I told him the situation. He stayed silent for a few seconds. "Don't rush into anything. I'll investigate the money part. We'll talk later." I thanked him and hung up. I felt slightly calmer. When I arrived at her company, the lights were still on. I stayed at the entrance, hearing voices inside. I didn't barge in immediately. I called Lin Ruyan. "I don't like you going home alone this late. I'll wait downstairs for you. I already told you there's no need." "Relax, honey, I'm already here." "Ah, really? You came? It wasn't necessary." Hearing how nervous she sounded, I said nothing else. I hung up and hid in the stairwell. A few minutes later, Lin Ruyan came out, and behind her was a man in a suit. They walked together toward the elevator, and there they hugged and kissed goodbye. The man kept touching her while kissing her. Seeing that made my blood boil. I wanted to rush out and kill them both. Then I heard the man laughing. "Your boyfriend is really attentive. Dad, don't talk about him. He's like glue. So annoying. Why don't you leave him waiting downstairs and we keep going? It's more exciting." "What are you thinking? He could come up at any moment. We already did it once when he called, and nothing happened." "Oh, you're so bad. How annoying." I felt like a clown. I was already part of their game. When the man turned his face, I got a good look at him. On Lin Ruyan's social media, there were photos from a company outing. He was the deputy director. His name was Chen Qishen. She had said he was young and promising, very strict with his subordinates. Now, I could see it was all an act. He knew she had a boyfriend, but they still put on this show for me. From the way they talked, it seemed like they enjoyed deceiving me. If I confronted them right then, I'd get angry and break up with her. That would be too easy. Then an idea came to me and stayed in my head. Before they entered the elevator, I took a photo of them holding hands and went back to the car. Lin Ruyan was already waiting. I pretended not to know anything. I walked up to her. "I thought you'd take longer," so I went to the bathroom for a moment. I finished early, opened the car. I'm freezing. She pretended to be sleepy, as if she were exhausted. Luckily, because I didn't want to talk that night either. When she fell asleep, I checked her phone and discovered they had been involved for several months. She joined the company in April, and by May, the flirting had already started. Recently, they had taken the final step, using overtime hours to be together. And while they were doing that, I, like an idiot, was at home cooking for her and washing her clothes, worrying that she worked too hard, worrying about her coming home alone, even dreaming about our future together. In her messages with Chen Qishen, she said about me, "He never suspects anything and gives me everything I want. What's good about that old hag of yours? Old and boring? Leave her and I'll leave mine." I couldn't believe she had said that, but the hundreds of messages hit me word for word. I felt destroyed. She was right. Until that day, I had never suspected anything. I never asked where she was or checked her phone, so she never deleted the messages. I looked at the person sleeping peacefully beside me. Suddenly, I felt disgusted. She was so filthy it made me want to vomit. The next morning, while Lin Ruyan was putting on makeup, her phone rang. She answered naturally. "Yes, Director Chen. All right, I'll try to arrive early today so we can review that. Work matters, yes. They told me to hurry. What can we do? It's the end of the year, there's a lot of work. I'll probably have to stay late again today." So annoying. I watched her with her makeup and short skirt and felt uncomfortable, but despite the disgust, I pretended to be concerned. "I'll find you another job. I don't like seeing you this tired." But she shook her head. She said she wanted to make the most of her youth, and besides, it had cost me a lot to get her that job. She leaned in to kiss me goodbye, but thinking that same mouth had been kissing Chen Qishen, I stepped aside pretending to look for something. From the messages the previous night, I already knew her code. When I was around, she called him Director Chen. Otherwise, it was honey, love, or even daddy. You could tell how much fun they were having. Chen Qishen had probably called on purpose at that moment just to get excited. If they liked playing games, then I could play too. If they wanted to play, I would play along. I met Anshin at a cafe. He looked exactly the same. I showed him the photos and messages. He nodded. This guy's a veteran. I investigated him a little. That's how I found out Chen Qishen isn't just married. He also has 2 children. His wife quit working when their first child was born to take care of the family, but he's always fooling around with other women, even a married ex-girlfriend. They meet directly at hotels and leave a couple of hours later. I gathered all the information and even took the trouble of getting the contacts of his family, his ex-girlfriend and her husband. I wanted to see how they would react at home. I sent Chen Qishen a message from a new number. "Your wife knows what you do when you say you're working." Then I waited. Half an hour later, Lin Ruyan's phone rang. She looked at it, turned pale, and went to the balcony to answer. I heard her say, "Did someone find out? What do we do?" Her voice was trembling. Chen Qishen seemed to be comforting her. When she came back inside, she avoided my gaze. I asked who it was. She said it was a coworker. Office stuff. I didn't expose her, but I laughed inside. The first test had worked. They were getting scared. A few days passed. Lin Ruyan again said she had to stay late. Indifferently, I replied, "Go ahead. Remember to eat, or I'll worry." Yes, Yes, honey, you too. Remember to eat well tonight. I parked near the company and sent a message to Chen Qishen's wife. Your husband always says he works late. Open your eyes. Don't let yourself be fooled. Some people like going back to old flames. She called me immediately. I didn't answer. She sent a message. Who are you? What do you mean? He has an ex-girlfriend he's been seeing for a long time. After that, I didn't reply anymore. For someone devoted body and soul to their family, planting doubt was enough. I waited in the car. It didn't take long before Chen Qishen came running downstairs nervously toward the parking lot, explaining something over the phone. Lin Ruyan came out behind him looking upset. Seeing that, I left satisfied. Chen Qishen's wife was a housewife, but she was not an ordinary woman. Her parents owned a company. She had 2 brothers who protected her, so she was used to getting her way. I had heard she was a force to be reckoned with. Chen Qishen already had problems with his ex-girlfriend. With my warning, if his wife investigated, he was going to have a bad time. Lately, he had been much calmer. He came home on time and no longer texted late at night. That made Lin Ruyan furious. Like every mistress who wants to take the wife's place, she constantly messaged him. What's so great about that old nag controlling you? Am I not worth more than her? Why don't you answer? But Chen Qishen, who had achieved everything thanks to his father-in-law, knew very well that home was one thing and games were another. To annoy Lin Ruyan, I changed my attitude too. If we argued, I no longer gave in. It made her furious. How dare you yell at me? Everything good you did was fake. All men are the same. Once you get what you want, you stop valuing it. I let her rant without bothering to comfort her. I simply shrugged and said, if that's how you see it, there's nothing I can do. Lin Ruyan's desire for revenge grew stronger at night. While I slept, she messaged Chen Qishen, even threatening him. If he kept ignoring her, she would go talk to his wife. That scared Chen Qishen. On top of that, with his wife watching him closely, he was desperate. So they came up with a plan, a business trip. Early in the morning, Lin Ruyan came into the house and went straight to the bedroom to pack her suitcase. Honey, the company organized an HR training course. I have to travel tomorrow. How many days? 2 days. I'll be back soon. But tomorrow is Saturday. We had plans to have lunch with your parents. Can we do it another day? I can't miss this course. There won't be another opportunity. I watched her pack and checked her phone. I found the hotel reservation for the next day. She didn't want me to drive her to the station. I didn't insist. Once she left, I bought some gifts and went to her parents' house. They lived less than 2 hours away. Her parents didn't have stable jobs, and her brother only played video games. I came to visit you. Ruyan doesn't know I'm here. Actually, I'm thinking about proposing to her. You've been together for more than a year already. Thinking about marriage? But marriage isn't just anything. I know we need to sit down and talk calmly. But don't worry. Lin Ruyan is a good girl. My family will do their best. As parents, all we want is for our daughter to find a good family that values and treats her well. They had already asked me before how much bride price I would give. My family had informed me about the customs in Lin Ruyan's area. Normally it was 66,000 or 88,000. I offered 108,000, which was already a lot. But because of their son, they wanted much more. You're right. Don't worry. I'll give more than anyone. I won't let Lin Ruyan lose face. Hearing my vague answer, her father coughed and her mother continued. My daughter has a degree and she's beautiful. I'm not lying. Even knowing she has a boyfriend, people still come asking for her hand. Last month, the neighbor's daughter got married, and she's not even half as good as my daughter, yet they gave her 500,000. Ma'am, I'll give 990,000. Really? And your parents agree? Yes, we already talked about it. They agree. I showed them fake messages. Her mother became delighted. Oh dear. You've been here this whole time and I haven't offered you anything. Ma'am, I'm not finished. There's more. The house I live in now was bought outright by my parents. When we get married, I'll also put Ruyan's name on it. She has to feel secure with me. What are you standing there for? Go wash some fruit. From the bedroom came the sounds of video games. It was Ruyan's brother, Akihan. You know, it's not good for Akihan to stay home all the time. That boy doesn't like any job. The easy ones pay little, and the ones that pay well are hard. At home, he just gets angry. A friend of mine owns a company and needs a driver. He just has to drive clients around. He can earn almost 10,000. I'll tell him about it. It's easy, well paid, and has flexible hours. What do you think? Really? If you can do that, you'd help us a lot. I knew you were reliable. Ruyan will be fine with you. They wanted me to stay for dinner. I refused. I didn't have time. I still had things to do. At 10 o'clock, I went to the hotel where she was staying. That afternoon, when she checked in, the person I had hired sent me the room number. I forwarded the information. Buddy, this is as far as I can help you. Half an hour later, a man with glasses and a muscular man entered the hotel. I hid in the stairwell. The man with glasses pretended to be hotel staff and knocked on the door. When room 8301 opened, the muscular man kicked the door in. Lin Ruyan's terrified scream echoed through the hotel.